Everybody stand. Face the colors. Hand salute. 2. Chaplain, would you offer a prayer, please?
Heavenly Father, as it says in the preamble to the Constitution that we share every meeting, I'm thinking tonight that's exactly why we're here. We're here to perpetuate an atmosphere of freedom and democracy. I pray, Lord, tonight as we gather that we combine our hearts and our minds to the business of the American Legion, even tonight. I thank you, Lord, for the meal that we shared together. Pray that you'll bless all those who had a hand in obtaining it for us. Really good. And Lord, I pray that you'll bless each and every one of us as we participate in this meeting tonight. And then, Lord, I pray that you'll bless us then when we depart and go our separate ways, that you will bring us back the next appointed time. And I thank you for being such a good and gracious God to us. Lord, it's in Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Remain uncovered. Repeat it. Pledge allegiance with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As you all can see, the POW MIA table is in place. Everyone can recover. Let us recite the preamble to the Constitution together. For God and country, we associate ourselves together for the following purposes: to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, to maintain law and order, to foster and perpetuate a 100% Americanism, to preserve the memories and incidents of our associations in all wars, to inoculate a sense of individual obligation to the community, state, and nation, to combat the autocracy of both the classes and the masses, to make right the master of might, to promote peace and goodwill on earth, to safeguard and transmit to posterity principles of justice, freedom, and democracy, to consecrate and sanctify our comradeship by our devotion to mutual helpfulness. Y'all be seated. I now declare the American Legion Post 3, Department of Virginia, regularly convened. Ryan, would you come and read the minutes, please?
The meeting was called to order at 6:30. Financial report was read, approved by Dick Small, and motion seconded by Ken Stoller, approved. We discussed Cadence Williams, who will no longer be the finance officer. We must find a new finance officer. Brian Moody has expressed interest in the position. Kathy Callahan made the motion to accept Brian Moody as finance officer, seconded by Richard Small, approved by vote. This is pending an audit by the audit committee and Commander Elliott, checking with the bank on signature requirements. Doug Heavensaw indicated that he has not spoken with all the coaches as yet, so we are leaving baseball on the table till the next meeting. Brian asked if we had all the tickets turned in, and Dick said they were turned in to the Red Sox. However, Doug indicated that 3 were left, and Mac was writing a letter to them indicating that $100 for the uniforms and $100 for the tickets would be charged to them. Brian Hunter and Commander Elliott are looking into the bulletin costs. Right now we are paying $200 a month for the bulletin to be printed and sent. We are looking into forming a committee to contact our members and see if they are actually reading the bulletin. There are 2 bids to fix the leak from the house to the pavilion. One bid from Star City Plumbing for $2,825. The other bid was from PipeCon Inc. They wanted $8,100. Brian Witt made a motion, seconded by Dick Small, approved by vote. We need to make a few changes to the current rental contract. Number 1, eliminate the kitchen equipment from the first page. Charge a $200 cleanup fee in cash to be returned after they clean up. No kegs or coolers allowed on the ballroom floor. remove item number 6 indicating a $250 fee for tables and chairs. Richard Small made a motion to approve the changes, seconded by Herb McBride, and all voted in favor. Ken Stoller suggested we lock the chair room to prevent anyone from grabbing more tables and chairs after the setup is complete. We have 2 events on Saturday, a family reunion from 12 to 3, and Salem High School reunion from 6 to 11. If anyone can help with those, it would be great. Thanks to everyone who came out and helped with the cleanup so things look better. The audit will be held in the next 2 weeks. 15 veterans were here for pizza and movie night, which was hosted by the Riders, and they all had a great time. Lee Hartman and Sons came out and replaced all the speakers so the sound system works great. Baker Roofing came by to check our leak after the rain, and we were dry. The Veterans Day Parade is going to be Saturday, November 12th. We have all the stuff to decorate the float in the shed, so we will need volunteers on Friday, November 11th to decorate, and we will need people to ride on the float for the parade. Budget Signs is allowing us to use the trailer again for the parade.
All right, could I have a motion to approve the minutes as read?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as read.
Second? Bill? All in favor? Opposed? Okay, so moved. All right, a couple of updates on the on what you just heard. First of all, the bid was accepted for Star City Plumbing for $2,825. They have already started the work back there in the pavilion area. They dug one hole and found what appears to be the leak. They put a shut-off valve in out there, shut the water off, went downstairs, turned the water on, went out to the meter, checked everything at the meter. There was no leak. So they are going to hook everything back up at that point and check all the lines going to the bathrooms to make sure that they are not leaking. They're going to do that tomorrow. Once they hook all that back up, if there are no other leaks, we're good to go for a lot less than $2,000 what we thought. So this is going to be a good deal. Plus they're going to leave a valve box outside, which we will lock. So we will no longer, whoever's working in the pavilion, won't have to run all the way downstairs to turn the water off and on anymore. They can do it outside. It'd be great. Ken?
Was the leak actually found where we connect the hose out there with the?
No, it was,
No?
if you look out back there, you see where the excavator is parked. It's directly under it.
Oh, okay.
If you look, there's 3 lines running right there. And I wasn't here, but Daniel filled me in on all this because he was here when the blood drive locked up. And he talked to them. So I'll be here in the morning when they go back over there and finish what they're doing back there, and hopefully that's all they had to do is just dig that one hole. We did make the changes to the rental contract. I got that all done. It's upstairs in my office. I'm going to have a few of the executive committee members take a look at it, make sure everything's okay. And then we will put that into effect 1 January, since we haven't done any solid contracts for 2023 as of yet. Kathy, you want to talk about the blood drive, please?
So today we had our third blood drive, third one, and it was a success. We had 16 people show up, so we got 16 units of blood donated. I know I've said this before, but not everybody knows. For 1 unit of blood helps 3 people. So today we were able to help 48 people with our donations. I'd like to give an honorable mention to those who showed up. Dick came out, and Mike, and Frank, and George, Brian, H, Daniel, and Doug came out as well. So thank you guys for coming out and supporting it. I think it's a pretty important thing that we can do. Our next one, we're going to set up another one for February. We've first one we had this past February, we did phenomenal. We had 28 people show up. Then in June, not so good. We had like 8 people. So this one was kind of somewhere in the middle. So if we can maintain at least 15, 16 people to show up, that would be great. And so as it gets closer, I'll mention it some more. But thank you to everybody who showed up and helped out.
Thank you, Kathy. Okay, Ken, you want to talk about the state rally?
This past weekend, 5 of us Legion riders went up to Stafford, Virginia. Might as well say Fredericksburg, but the post is actually out in Stafford for the annual state rally. It was Jersey, who was our newest member, Bill, Brian, myself, and Wayne Cassidy. So it was a good ride, a nice post. They had good food, good people, a lot of different games, a lot of vendors and everything. So we're starting to really get active. And if I may, Commander, on November 10th, we will be setting up a tent outside of our riders tent outside of Mission Barbecue for a poppy donation. So we'll be over there. Last year we did pretty good. So, but the riders from Post 3, and this goes out to every one of our riders, you know, not all of them are here, but we're really starting to get noticed out in town. You know, we hosted the event with Virginia Veterans Care Center with the pizza and a movie. That was a great success. In fact, the director of activities actually called me and thanked me to let all the other riders know that the veterans that came over, you know, really truly had a great time, and they said that they can't wait for us to do another event. And on a sad note, I will say that a longtime member of the Post and one of our past charter members of the Post, I only met the gentleman about 6 times, but his name is Sonny Long. He just recently passed away, and I'm waiting to get the funeral information, and I'll make sure that it gets sent out from Brian. Thank you.
Yeah, Sonny was one of the original members of the American Legion Riders along with me, and he and his wife were originally both charter members. His wife passed away some years ago of dementia. It's a really bad deal. So I'm sorry to hear about Sonny and him passing. Okay, we have 2 events coming up. One on the 15th of October in the ballroom. It's a wedding reception from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. and I need to have someone work that event. You can see me after the meeting. On the 22nd, there's also a wedding in the ballroom. It is from 3 to 8 p.m. It is also needing someone to work that one too. I was informed by Matt that we will be doing the audit on Thursday, is that correct?
Yes, yeah, 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock we'll be doing the audit, okay? Kenny, did you put that down in your notes? So you're here for that?
Right now.
Okay.
Thursday at 11, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, you can see me after the meeting for this. Will Camp, who runs the coin show, called me today, and all 3 of his security guards are out and cannot work. He needs someone to work the coin show for security. They pay $12 an hour. It's about 15 hours a day for both days. If you're interested, let me know, and I'll talk to Will and give him a call. Also, most of you know Jim Skinner. Jim has some heart problems. He's up in Nova Scotia, stuck up there right now in a hospital. So we need to keep him in our prayers. We'll know more tomorrow about what's going on with him. They're going to do some tests tomorrow and see how that's all going to work out. We have a guest with us after we close the meeting today. Stick around. Shane Wilson is with us, a game warden. He's going to talk about some hunting stuff and the rules and regulations thereof. So please stay around for that. Also, we need to have some volunteers for the committee to start calling some folks, calling some members. Brian and I will compile a list together of our members so we can get their, give them a call and see how they're, first of all, see how they're doing, which would be part of the Buddy Check program. And to see, number one, if they're getting the bulletins, and number two, if they're actually reading them and making sure that everything's okay. Hopefully we can cut down the cost of doing the bulletins, because $200 a month is a little extensive. Yeah, and to see if we can get more people actively involved in the things we're doing here at the Post. Kenny did mention that we did the Veterans Night here. We had pizza and a movie. It worked out really, really good. They had a good time. I look forward to doing that some more. We're going to do it a few more times. I think it's a great deal. It helps them and it helps us. The Veterans Day Parade. Okay, I've already talked with Budget Science. I'm going to go pick up the trailer hopefully Thursday night, which will be November 10th, and have the trailer here Friday, November 11th, which is actually Veterans Day. But we'll decorate the float then, so we'll need some people to help us. Luckily, it's the same trailer that we used last time, so Brian and I already have all the wood cut and everything put together, so it's just a matter of putting everything on the trailer and binding it down, so it shouldn't take too long. And we'll also, on that Saturday, need some folks to ride on the float. We always get a bunch of people. Hopefully we'll get a bunch more. We take 2 picnic tables from the pavilion. If you've never been here before when we've done it, and people get on the trailer and sit on the picnic tables and wave, and we'll buy some candy they can throw out to the kids, and it's a pretty good deal. It's good publicity for us and good community relations for the Post. Yes. Yes, after we're done with the parade, we'll bring the float back here, and we'll need a few people to take everything apart and put everything away back in the shed, so we're ready again for the next time we do it. Okay? Anybody have anything else that you need to bring up? Dick?
Yeah, my Military Family Support Center has got back active, and they've requested that if we would do the Thanksgiving baskets and Christmas baskets that we've had in the past. It means the members get the 3 turkeys and 3 $25 gift cards. The auxiliary will get all the food that goes in the basket. And the auxiliary's already said they will do it. But we need to get an approval so we can do it.
Okay, so we need to get an approval to buy the turkeys, or what do we need?
Buy the turkeys and the 3 gift cards.
Okay. So can I get a motion on the floor that we buy 3 turkeys and some gift cards for the Military Support Center?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. I'll make a note of that. Hang on 1 second, Kevin. Okay, go ahead.
On the 27th of October is the Special Needs Halloween Party
Oh, yeah.
here. And Dick, what were the hours again? 5 to 9?
5 to 9.
5 to 9? And we're probably gonna need at least 4 or 5 people, no more than that, to help set up tables and everything. Now, keep in mind, when we set these tables up, we have to ensure that we leave enough room for the wheelchairs to get down through them. So it's like putting a puzzle together. But if you have never been to one of these, if there was ever, in my opinion, if there was ever something to yank your heartstrings and give you that warm and fuzzy, that's watching special needs folks enjoy themselves.
This is probably the best, I think the best event that we hold here at the Post. These kids are absolutely amazing, and when they get here, to see the joy on their face, like Kenny said, is unbelievable. Dick?
This is our 45th year of doing it.
Our 45th time? Well,
What date is it?
That's 1 second.
Thursday, November 27th.
Thursday, November 27th.
Excuse me.
October 27th.
27th, yeah.
October 27th.
Yep.
We'll be doing that here, and please come and, if you can give us a hand, see me after the meeting, or see Ken, and we'll get your name on a list, so that way we don't want more than 4 or 5 people, because then it just gets a little too confusing. So we get 4 or 5 people together, it'd be really great to put out this event, because it's unbelievably fun.
Commander, I have one last thing on that. Because it's such a large crowd that comes in here, we will need at least 1 or 2 people out in the parking lot making sure that the fire zone around the building does not get blocked. Because numerous times they'll block it, thinking it was okay, and we have to scramble around trying to find the people who own the vehicle and everything. Typically, most of the buses will park on the far side up against where the tree line comes in the back of the parking lot there. Typically.
In the back parking lot.
Yes.
Right. You had something else too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So just real quick, I'd like to share, I have a friend from high school named Lorraine Welch. Her dad was a Marine, and they were stationed at Lejeune. They lived in base housing for many years. And 15 years ago, she was diagnosed with leukemia, and sadly, she passed away last week. And out of 7 kids in the family, she had another brother who had thyroid cancer, another sister who passed away several years ago, and several other siblings have illnesses because of what went on at Lejeune. Her daughter has set up a GoFundMe page to help with Lorraine's funeral expenses and medical expenses. She was also a single mom, so she was struggling for many years. And as the daughter and sister of 2 Marines, she had a brother who joined as well. I would like to, reach out and ask for the Post to donate. I was thinking maybe $250 to help her family out, if everyone is in agreement. Because the way I see it, she was the innocent victim of all this stuff going on over there, and it's just a shame.
She is gonna file a claim, right?
She did, I think, on behalf. She's got 2 kids and some grandkids,
Take a while to get
and
some
I
money,
think
though.
she did, but she'll, sadly she never get to see it. But I just wanted to put that out there,
Family
and
will get it.
then Michael will take it from there. Thank you.
Yeah, it'll probably be a while before she sees any money from any of the claims that she put in, so it might be a good idea if the Post at least give her a couple $100 to help out. That'd be great. Have a motion on the floor to do that.
I'll make a motion that we.
Second, Doug, all approved?
Approved.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I will get that check written. Also, Brian, I want to thank Brian Moody for stepping up. He's going to help us out with the finance office after Thursday when we do the audit and get the audit all done. He's going to help us out And I gotta run over to, I was gonna run to the bank today and then I forgot, it's a holiday. Tomorrow I'll run over there and get with Will and find out, hopefully we can just take one person up there and change the signature for one person instead of doing everybody, so I'm gonna work on that tomorrow.
Next month's meeting when they have the Vietnam veteran.
Yes, our next meeting, is November, as soon as I find my calendar.
13th, 14th?
It is November 8th. No. The executive meeting will be November 1st. Our membership meeting will be November 8th. And we will, Brian sent out an email to everyone letting them know, and if you know somebody that does not have a Vietnam War pin and they are able to get one, we will be doing a pinning ceremony during that meeting. Colonel Miller has graciously said he would take care of that. Roy?
Correction on the dates, that's November the 7th for the executive and the 14th for the meeting.
No, November 1st is
It's November 1st and November 8th. Unless you're looking at the wrong calendar.
November 22nd. Oh, okay, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, I'm sorry, it is November 7th and November 14th. I was looking at Tuesday, I wasn't even looking at Monday. I apologize for the error, thank you, Roy, for straightening me out. November 7th will be the executive meeting, and November 14th will be the membership meeting, and we'll be doing the pinning ceremony immediately following that meeting.
No, but this would be just for any veterans who qualify, right?
Yes, any qualified Vietnam veterans, yes.
I got a number of people in my church I'm talking to.
Yes,
Qualified, so I'm gonna invite them.
yes, invite them to come, by all means.
Vietnam era or Vietnam?
Vietnam era.
Vietnam era.
Brian, will that be in?
Served during the time of the Vietnam War.
Yes, for the
Yes.
15-year
62
period.
to
75 or 6 or
Yeah.
whatever it was.
It's a long period of time.
I think it's 76 when they finished the evacuation, I believe.
I'm not sure when it started
I
exactly.
know we were there in 76 and that was part of the evacuation, so I can only assume that, I don't know. Anyway, I don't have anything else unless anybody else has something. Please hang out after the meeting. Again, Shane Wilson is here, or Dave Warden, and he'll be talking to us immediately after the meeting. And then when he's done, if y'all could hang out and help us put chairs away and straighten out everything, get ready for the next event would be greatly appreciated. Chaplain, would you lead us in memorial prayer?
Heavenly Father, thank you for your love and your mercy towards us. Let's remember the folks that Kathy brought to our attention who have passed away due to what's happened at Camp Lejeune. Lord, I pray that you guide and direct us our thoughts and our actions. Help us to remember so much needs to be done here at the post, and we pray that you provide the people that need to do that. Guide and direct us now as we go, and bring us back at the next appointed time. And I ask this in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. All right, let's all stand and face the flag and salute. 2. Now declare the meeting of Post 3, the American Legion Department of Virginia adjourned. Now I'd like to introduce our guest, Shane Wilson, Game Warden.
Good evening.
Hi.
So, just want to start off, I want this to be very informal. If you have questions, shoot me the question. Hopefully I'll be able to get you an answer. If I don't know it, I will get you an answer for that. But like Commander said, my dad does ride with combat vets. I'm a family member riding with them. I've rode with Ken several times. I thoroughly enjoy being around a bunch of veterans. I'm not a veteran myself, but I do enjoy helping the veterans out, doing whatever I can to help out. And that's what put me where I'm at. I actually got ready to sign dotted lines to Paris Island. This job called me, so here I am. But if y'all want to, open up your books to page 10, I believe it is. And I'll start off with just a bunch of license exempt and residency requirements for hunting licenses and fishing licenses and stuff. And I want this to be interactive, so if somebody sees something that they want to question about, just ask it. I'm not gonna read it word for word, cause everybody can read the book. But some things for the residency qualifications for hunting licenses is, any person that is a bona fide resident of Virginia, to get a state hunting license, you have to live in Virginia to be able to get that hunting license. Persons that have been legal voters in Virginia can get resident licenses, and students that are not resident but they're in another college can get resident licenses for Virginia. For the exemptions, down below it's anything that doesn't list in the center section of page 10 to the bottom. The resident, non-resident landowners, their spouses, children, grandchildren, and spouses of children and grandchildren do not need to have licenses on their family's property. With tenants and renters, how many people in here rent homes to somebody? Okay, so their residents, so if that tenant rents from you, they do not need to have a license to hunt on your property. They just have to have written permission from you stating that they can hunt on that property. 65 and over, you do not need to have a license to hunt or trap on private property in your county or city of residence. Resident hunters, if your grandchildren, children under the age of 12, they're not required to have a hunting license or hunter education. Once the kid hits 12 years old, they're required by law to have a hunter ed to be able to purchase a hunting license. So make sure that they get hunter ed. There's a lot of outdoor classes that they can go to, or they can do them online, but they need to have hunter ed to be able to purchase a license. They also have an apprentice license. What that means is a license that you can buy for 2 years. It's good for 2 years. Somebody can purchase that, and that allows them to buy a license to hunt without having hunter education. But before that expires, they need to have hunter education to be able to buy a license. So that's what that apprentice license is. If you look on page 11, that's what that's talking about. For your any person who's not hunting but aiding a disabled person, so if it's somebody with a disability or a disabled hunter, they're not required to possess a license. They can assist them in their hunt. Any Indian who's habitually resides in Virginia, they're not required. They have to have their tribal card, but they do not have to have a license to be able to hunt in Virginia. They still have to follow the normal check-in and doing all that stuff, but they're not required to have a license. If you're a stockholder or owning, a lot of people ask about owning land of 50% or more. If you own the property, of course you're not required to have the license. But if you are only 50% owner or more, then you're not required either. If you don't own up to about 50% of the land, then you still have to buy a license for that property. So you have to be 50% landowner or more to be able to be license exempt. A lot of people, they ask what type of licenses you need. For small game, you're just required to have your state hunting license. For your waterfowl and your migratory bird, you have to have your migratory bird stamp, and you have to have state hunting license and a HIP number. The HIP number's free. You fill out a survey that gives you the free HIP number to be able to be carried. Basically what it does allows the biologist to calculate what birds were taken in that season, and that's what that HIP number provides to them. So you fill out that survey, they give you the free HIP number for that. Muzzleloader, you have to have your muzzleloading license, state hunting license. For bear, deer, and turkey, they have separate stamps that you purchase to be able to hunt bear, deer, and turkey. A lot of people now are doing the sportsman's package. It's $100 for everything. It covers you from anything that you need except for saltwater fishing. So it saves you about $43 on the licensing side of everything. Let's see, if you look on page 12, That'll show you your prices for your licenses and for your non-resident hunting licenses and resident licenses. How many disabled vets do we have here? Okay, I don't know if you all know, but there is a form that you have on our website that you can print off and get your disabled license. It's free of charge. So if you want to get your disabled license, fill that application out, send your paperwork in with that license, with that form, and then they will send you a hard card that'll help you with your, be able to go hunting without having to buy a license.
You still need the stamps.
Still needs stamps. Still needs stamps and, your muzzleloader license, archer license, but that covers you on your state hunting license, and that's about it. Your state hunting license, and you still have to buy your deer turkey.
Now, if the rules are the same what they were a few years ago, because I looked for it online and I had a hard time navigating it online, with all this information on it, but, if I remember correctly, that if you're 100% disabled, you can apply for the lifetime hunting and fishing license,
That is correct. Yep.
Okay.
And that covers your state hunting and your, fishing. You can get it for trout and for freshwater.
Oh, okay.
So you still have to buy your muzzleloader, archery,
Right.
and your deer turkey tags, and your bear tag, but it covers you on the other stuff. So it saves you money on some of the licenses.
So, say I'm 100% and hunting on family-owned land.
Then you're license exempt. You're
Okay.
license exempt on that, yep. Does anybody else have any questions about licenses or anything? Y'all gotta be interactive with me. Any questions? I didn't really bring a PowerPoint, anything like that. I just wanted to basically make it informal so everybody could ask questions while we're here.
Does the apprentice have to have the tags?
So the apprentice license, that apprentice license allows you to buy, to be able to hunt without hunter ed, but you have to be directly supervised by a licensed hunter, and that allows you to buy those tags. Yep. So, but you have to be directly supervised by a licensed hunter 18 years of age or older.
Thank you.
Can you talk just for a minute about this, CWD?
Okay? Yep,
Um, Because I read everything that they had online,
Mhm.
but there's still, I was just confused.
Yep, let me find the page so y'all can flip to it so we can all look together. So, page 43. Alright, so chronic wasting disease, you'll hear everybody say CWD. Chronic wasting disease is a disease that deer will transmit from deer to deer. So when everybody asks, why don't we open up hunting over bait year round? What we're trying to do is mitigate from having so much of the spread of CWD. So that's why during hunting season, after September 1, you have to pull that up. You can't put it back out till the first weekend in January. So what it does is deer come to a central location. They will eat. It's transmitted by the saliva. They'll eat it. If one deer has CWD, then it'll transmit to another deer. And chronic wasting disease, then they basically lose all their mass and they die off. And it spreads from deer to deer. So with the chronic wasting disease, on these maps, it's so much to explain on those, but they will tell you, it explains to you where you can and can't transport deer out of a CWD area to another area. So I'll give you an example close to here, like Montgomery County. If you kill a deer in Montgomery County, you cannot bring it into a non-CWD area. So we had one case in Montgomery County. So any of those deer have to stay in Montgomery County. Now, if you hunt in Montgomery County, but then you have to come through Roanoke to get back into Montgomery, you can't do that. The deer has to be completely deboned, no brain mass, none of that stuff. It can only be the meat. So to be able to go back across through Roanoke back into Montgomery County. So you have to keep the spread of because it comes through, they can spread it through the brain matter and the bone marrow and all that stuff if other deer get into that stuff. So it has to be discarded properly without being buried, anything like that. It has to be taken to landfill pretty much to keep it from spreading. But with those areas, you can look at those maps and it'll tell you, if you go to page 44, it tells you what you can and can't do to be able to transport them out of those areas. And then they also have CWD stations where if you're in a CWD area that you hunt, you open a day of rifle, you have to take it to that CWD station, they pull the jawbones to be able to test that deer to see if it has CWD. And that's how we found the one in Montgomery County. It was brought to a CWD station and it tested positive after the biologists did all their testing. So that's how they find those areas of the CWD and to be able to correlate what areas they have to do their testing in.
And wasn't there one or two in Floyd County also?
I did not hear about those. If there was, I did not hear about it. I know I heard about the one in Montgomery.
Okay.
How long does that test take when you bring it to the station?
I really don't know. The biologists, they all handle that, and then they send us at the end of the season, they send us all the numbers.
Okay, so it's not like I'm taking it there.
No,
they're
what they'll
testing it,
do-
And they're telling you that it's.
Yeah, they
not-
won't tell you instantly.
Got
They
it.
gotta do all the testing, through a lab and whatnot.
That
Yes,
makes-
sir. Okay. Is there any other questions with any other licenses or anything you may need?
Sorry, I'm got most of the questions, but, if you're hunting on family land
Okay?
during bear season, would I be required to get a bear tag?
So you are not, if you're license exempt, you're not required to buy the bear tag. What
Okay.
they do is if you check in a bear, they will send you that bear tooth tag, the envelope to be able to
Right.
pull that tooth and be able to send off. So anybody that purchases a bear license, they get a envelope sent to them to be able to have that tooth sent off to be tested, to tell you the age and all
Right.
that stuff with the bear.
But you still have to take it to a bear check station?
No, bear are not on a check station. There's no check stations in Virginia anymore. Everything's done off the honor system. There's a lot of upset people about it. There's a lot of convenience stores that used to profit by hunters coming there and, checking deer in and buying snacks and stuff and talking, hanging out all day. But they have done away with that. So bear are checked in online just like deer and turkey are.
And they would give you
It'll give you a confirmation number.
confirmation number?
How many of y'all use the app? We have an app for hunting. You don't have to carry a paper tag anymore. So we have what they call a Go Outdoors Virginia app that you can download off your phone, and you can do everything. You create an account with your name, date of birth, last four of your social. Create an account. You can buy all your licenses off of it. You can look at all the regs off of it. You can do everything off your phone. And then when you go to check a deer in, you actually hit E-notch. It goes inside the system and it'll show the gray little triangles like you would normally cut out with a knife or a pair of scissors. And you can click on it and it'll automatically give you a confirmation number. Then it'll send you to another system that'll ask you if it was private land, what county, what it was a 10-point buck, 8-point buck, a doe. It'll ask you all that stuff out of that system. I know a lot of people ask me about archery hunting in Salem as well. You can archery hunt in Salem from archery season opened up last weekend, and it goes all the way to the first weekend of January until hunting season goes out. There's no urban archery in Salem. There's only urban archery in Roanoke County. So that's another question I remember somebody asking.
Wait a minute, you just said you could hunt in Salem,
You can archery hunt in Salem.
okay?
You cannot use a firearm in Salem.
Okay.
Now, if you're gonna hunt with a BB gun or something like that, there's a local ordinance that Salem has that you'll have to just call the police department or look up their ordinances, and it'll show you what you can and can't do with a BB gun or an air rifle or something like that. But you can archery hunt in Salem, just not urban archery. There's no urban archery season because it's continuous. It's continuous from last weekend all the way to the first weekend of January. Y'all have any questions? Yes, sir.
Is the got game number, is that still
You can
active?
still use that. You
Okay.
can still use the telephone, punch the 1-866 got game.
Right.
And you can still check it in like that as well.
Okay,
Yep.
I know because,
And it'll ask you for your customer ID number and all that stuff, cause some people don't have a smartphone that's got the app stuff.
that's,
They've got just the buttons on the phone.
right, okay.
And yes, you can still, and you can also carry the paper tags. Just if you kill something on the paper tags and you
Right.
check it in, then make sure that you correspond it to, make sure it's corresponding to your Go Outdoors account.
No, okay.
Yep, and if it doesn't correspond to it, just call into our Go Outdoors system, in Richmond and in
Right.
Henrico, just call, our headquarters, and then get up with somebody with Go Outdoors, and they'll make sure it all correlates to your paper tag.
Okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
This is not a hunting question, but are you getting a lot of reports of, an overabundance of deer coming in at people's yards
So,
and making a mess? And
we always have a lot of nuisance calls with bear and deer. A lot of the stuff with the deer, there's really, it's a lot of the flowers and stuff they're nipping, they're eating the corn crops. We try to mitigate that during the non-hunting season with kill permits. We'll give somebody a kill permit to kill, 5 deer, 10 deer, depending on what size acreage they have. It could be up to 20 deer, just depending on how much, corn or soybeans or whatever they have. We try to help people with that, but of course, everything rural is being tore all to pieces, and they're moving into the city areas and the parts of the town that people don't want them in. But we do have that. The bear, there's a lot of things you can do with bear, nuisance bear, tidying up the trash cans, taking and putting the clasp like you use for a dog collar for walking your dog. You can drill holes in your dumpster, put the clasp through it to keep the bear from being able to lift it up. Bird feeders, if you see a bear in the area, take the bird feeders down. That way they can, it takes their food source away. A lot of people have them coming up on their porches. We tell them about unwelcome mats. So it's basically a piece of wood that you drill nails through or hit nails through or screws. And you put it away from your step to where the bear would have to step on it before it goes up on your porch. And usually the bear will run off because it's like, okay, they don't want me here, and they roll off. You can also use paintball guns. If you have paintball guns, you can haze a bear with paintball guns. It's not illegal to do that. You can also shoot them with rubber rounds. As long as it's a non-lethal round, you can hit them with it, and you're not doing anything illegal. The moment you take a lethal shot, with a shotgun, a lot of people take like a number 7 and just try to pepper it. Well, what it does is it'll embed inside the hide of it, and then it turns into an infection, and the bear ends up dying. So then, they can be killed. They can be charged with unlawful killing. So we try to refrain people from using lethal shot until it's bear season. Then they can take the bear legally during hunting season. Yes, sir.
Any, would you happen to know by chance, or you've heard or read on the coyote population?
Coyotes, they're here. They're a nuisance species, so they can be killed year-round, day and night. There's nothing against it. You don't have to check them in. So if you have an area where you have an abundance of coyotes, a lot of predator hunters, there's a lot of predator hunters around. You can get on some outdoor pages on Facebook and, chat with them, and they'll be willing to come down and predator hunt on your property and take them out. But they're here to stay. They're here.
Yeah. Franklin County has cause that's where my son's property is, they have a $35 bounty.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard any of the bounties anymore. I didn't know Franklin County had it, unless an individual's doing it. But yeah, they don't usually keep us up on the bounties, but I haven't heard people talking about it. But they used to have $75 bounties on coyotes and predator hunters, predator animals, but I haven't heard much about it since.
Cool.
Does anybody else have any other questions? Anything you'd like for me to go over that maybe you just may have a question about or don't understand? Okay, I'll be around just for a little bit, but thank y'all so much for letting me come in. I'm always here. My stack of business cards are right beside all the regs. If you need extra regs, they're over there as well. If you have a question 5-6 days down the road and just need an answer, give me a call. My work cell number's on there, and I'll get back to you if I don't answer. All right? Thank y'all.
Appreciate it.